And I am talking to Don Ludwig right now, lives in Genesee County. This is a story I've touched on before, but it's still ongoing and people need to know about it. $250 million so far, actually a little more, approved for a megasite. And that megasite is in your area, right? Or your neighborhood or your town?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Mundy Township.
Mundy Township. So let me put up a map. I think we can see it here. This is the yellow area is what is called a megasite. And a megasite, as I've been told, is just a big area of land where the state of Michigan is hoping they can attract a company or business, right? That's what a megasite is?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So the state of Michigan, the MEDC, they started purchasing property in this yellow area?
Yes, they started probably roughly about 2 years ago. They had contracts with some of the landowners, the big farmland, and within the recent 2 months, they've been purchasing homes and more property.
Okay. Went off the screen there. Hold on. Where'd you go? There you go. Okay. So as of right now, there's all this land. We don't know if there is a company that's going to go there, right? Officially, we don't know anything.
Officially, no. There's no application with the township. It's a mystery company. I try all the time to figure out who it is. I know a couple of the John Cherry and Dan Kilby have came out and said it was going to be Western Digital Semiconductor because they have not signed an NDA, so they were open to the Detroit News about that.
Yeah. So in order to attract a company to this site, the state of Michigan, basically the MEDC, which is taxpayer money, $250 million of taxpayer money was thrown at this property to get it ready for a new company, right?
Right.
Okay. And the goal is, to me, it's kind of risky because you don't have any company there, but you're spending all this money to hopefully get one. So what are they doing right now? What are you seeing? Are they putting in roads or what's going on?
Oh yeah, they're actually putting in a road as of about a week ago to 10 days ago. They started putting the road in. The township board, the planning commission approved tree clearing, and so since they approved that, they started putting a road in about off of Maple Avenue, about maybe of a quarter of a mile, crushed gravel. They took the topsoil off. They've installed security cameras. They put up the I don't know if it's about like a six inch erosion protection around a half mile of that area in that square, so they could start doing some tree clearing.
Okay. And as we know, like you said, I'm going to bring this up on the screen as well. It's not official, but like you said, Congressman Kildee, State Senator John Cherry said semiconductor company is looking at the megasite. So it's not official, but at least now we know maybe a name of a company that might be going there.
Yeah.
There's been other companies in the past, right? Was it Stellantis that almost agreed to they backed out?
Yeah, I believe that was about a year ago. They were going to come to Mundy Township. They had, I mean, obviously I could see everything from my backyard. I seen the big black tour bus back there, and they ended up pulling out. And I believe that was due to the part of the residents being so loud and vocal that we don't want this in a suburban area.
Okay. Now, you actually live within the yellow somewhere?
Yes, I live right in the yellow. Yes.
Okay. So they're actually... there's property they need to buy. There's homes, they're already, or do we know? If they're already buying properties? I'm assuming they are, I guess. Homes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. All the farmland has been transferred over to Maple and Hill LLC. And I'm going to just throw a rough number out. Probably, I know there's 40 properties that have transitioned over to Maple Hill LLC, including some of my neighbors have sold. So wow. They've actually even just recently were in discussion with me.
Wow. Do they have to move out soon? Like, do they literally have to get out?
They're giving anybody anywhere from 60 days to 6 months from what I've been told before. You know, most of these people, they sign the residents, they have to sign an NDA. So most contact me beforehand. So I get a lot of information. And once the NDA starts, it kind of dwindles down to nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing that's happening now is that the state lawmakers, the Michigan House, the Democrats might want to get even more money, millions and millions of dollars, more money to throw at this project. I believe the governor, some have reported she wants to do this because they want to do it now because the Republicans will take control of the legislature come the new year. So they're trying, possibly, I've heard, to push a lot more money into this now. Is it, in your opinion, is that dangerous when we still don't know what's happening?
Oh, 100% dangerous. I'm just going to go back to the dirt road that they built through the middle. They're going to clear out roughly, they said, about 4,000 trees for a non-potential buyer. You know, according to Flint Genesee Economic Development, according to our township attorney, our township manager, that we don't have an application. But why are we clearing the trees? There's actually a huge issue going on. I do know there's 55 trees that have some type of extinct bat in there, so they have to cut these trees down before March, before the bat comes back home. So he'll have his eviction letter sitting on the tree stump that they're going to leave behind.
Wow. So there's several issues with it. Could, I mean, heck, so far all that money, and that's taxpayer money spent on it. And if the governor and the Democrats want to spend more money on it without knowing what's going there, I mean, either they feel really comfortable. I don't know. The average person would think it's dangerous to spend all that money if it's not a sure thing.
No, I feel the same way. I wouldn't throw a bunch of money at something that it's like a gamble. You're risking.
And also, should my tax dollars go to a private company?
No, absolutely not. I don't feel that we should cover the expense of it. You know, I've even had some discussions about semi truck license plates with they'll be all out of town license plates because it's cheaper to register a semi truck in a different state versus Michigan. So according to our governor, we want to fix the damn roads, but we're going to create this mystery 10,000 jobs, $55 billion for a company that has not came forward.
And a lot of times, and I'll say I do social media and work for the Mackinac Center for Public Policy on with them, but also they've done a study that has showed many times when they predict or they say there's going to be all these jobs, it almost never shows up that many jobs, really.
No, for sure. I think the average semiconductor plant is roughly 123 employees. It has to be a complete clean facility. So I really don't know how they're going to come up with the 10,000 jobs unless they're going to talk about the people that do the constructions, dropping off porta-johns to the guy pouring the dirt for the road going back to the woods to where they want to clear the trees. I don't know, 10,000 jobs. That's a lot of jobs.
Yeah. I've interviewed before the township manager. Is it Chad Young?
Yes, Chad Young.
He's been in, and I'll repeat it now because he's told me, he said nothing can happen officially until they get an application and until they have a board meeting and the board would have to approve it. I guess that's accurate, right?
Well, I guess it's somewhat could be accurate, but we just had a vote last week on the tree, for example, for the tree clearing, which I find is a huge mistake. We actually have one of the board members that lives inside the megasite zone that voted yes to have the tree clearing start.
So your point is, so why do anything if you don't know what's going there then, right? I mean, kind of makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, if you're voting
if I'm buying land for a house, I'm not going to do anything with the land until I know what kind of house I'm building.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not tree clearing for no reason. somebody knows something. They just need to be more transparent to the township, you know. And like I said, we're trying right now to get the tree clearing stopped just for the conflict of interest of one of the planning commission with the trees. I mean, obviously her house is inside the zone and voted yes. She probably should have excused herself from that vote. But if you're voting for that, I feel you know something.
Yeah. What? And I'll ask, people ask you all the time, why are you against this? Or are you? It depends, maybe what's going there. Why are you against this?
I'm not against jobs or creation. I would love it to see some type of housing development. You know, obviously the governor said that there is a housing shortage, and now there's going to be 300 people with homes inside this megasite looking for a home. I mean, I would have no problem with community development, parks, soccer fields, or, you know, senior centers, communities. It's just the biggest concern would be the contamination if there's something that happens to the people with the water.
So whether it be so housing would be fine.
Yeah. You wouldn't hear, I don't think you'd hear any complaints out of anybody. I don't even think anybody even complained about the new Costco that was being built. You know, it's more has to do with the future of contamination of the ground and water.
But even when they bring in a Costco or a Walmart, they usually have a site plan. I remember covering city council meetings, and they would put the diagrams up on the board, and they would say, okay, we're going to have this here, that. I remember that they would at least have site plans, and maybe and Chad Young, he told me, he said, when and if they get a company, they're going to have to do everything. But your fear is, if I'm wrong, tell me, you think maybe it's being done behind the scenes and that it's just going to be presented like, here it is.
Yeah, well, at the rate they're going, that's how I feel. It's going to be, here you go, trees are down, here's the company, and it's going to be too late.
Yeah, because if the trees are down, you can't put them back up.
No, I've made a couple suggestions to them because they want to put, I believe it's a $2.5 million bond to replace the trees after they cut them down. So if this project doesn't come through, they'll replace the trees. My question was, where do you go get roughly 4,000 to 10,000 40-foot maple trees? You know, they're going to plant 1 foot little twig trees, and you know, my daughter, her grandkids probably will never get to see the view that I have in my backyard now. And I think it's dangerous and reckless to cut trees down when we don't have a buyer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So let's say the legislature wants to spend, I don't know, another 100 million on this. That's money. I know the incoming leader of the Republicans in the House has said our roads still need a lot of work. And money could be going towards that too, because that's a large chunk of money to be throwing at a site that we don't know a business, but we do know the roads need work.
Oh, 100%. This Maple Avenue that I live on, there's been several severe car accidents because of the potholes and all that. And I think I said earlier, just like about the semi trucks with being plated out of state, they're going to reap the rewards just like everybody else is taking advantage of the taxpayer dollar.
So what can be done? The people in that area continue to voice their opinion, or what can help your side? Do you think can help? Just continue to speak out?
Yes, I'm hoping that they could reach out to Lansing, to the federal level, attend this Monday morning at 10 a.m. is a township meeting with the MEDC and the Flint Genesee Economic Development. It'd be huge if all the residents came there with their questions and you know, so hopefully get them answered, make a big, huge presence.
Where 10 a.m. Monday, where at exactly?
At Mundy Township Hall.
10 a.m. open to the public.
Open to the public. Yep.
Okay, and I'm sure you'll be there and have some good questions as well. You're going to keep me updated. So they're probably not going to give you any names of any companies or anything. What, they're just going to take your questions, I guess. I don't know.
I have no idea what to expect from them. You know, sometimes I just leave there and I shake my head and I feel like I bought a used car warranty and I don't even know what I needed it for.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, like I said, And there is a new, what are the board has changed, right?
Yes, it has changed. We do have new members. It's flipped from Democrat to Republican. Not that that
Okay.
matters, but I mean, there's several people that ran on the no megasite platform, and I believe they're going to stick to that and try to get this stopped. You know, I stay in contact with them pretty much every day.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to let me know how that goes, but I just wanted to do this again to let people know your concerns. And Chad Young said whatever they're gonna have to have a meeting in an application, because once they have an application, that's public then, right? At that time.
Exactly. Yep. That's what we're waiting for, is that application, and like I said, Monday is going to be, I believe they're calling it a presentation, is what the MEDC and the Flint Genesee Economics Development is going to do on Monday.
Could they say then there's an application?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Okay. I've been waiting every day patiently.
But at that time, then, like Chad Young said, then you have an opportunity to talk about it. And I was going to say make changes, but if they're already digging and doing stuff, it's like you said, you can't replant the trees. That's fine.
You can't replant. Yeah, you can't replant the trees. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. I appreciate you joining. Keep me updated, and I will
For sure.
promise to stay on top of it.
All right. Thank you, Dave.